Hi guys! So I've been having a really big think about my conversation with Kinga lately. So the pilot episode, she shared all these like incredible nuggets of wisdom, and one thing that really stuck with me was her choice to feel the fear and go for her dreams rather than like letting it make her feel small. And it was making me think of this book I've been reading by Mihaly, which is all about finding flow. So his book is called Flow, Optimal Experience. And he presents that choice where you can be stuck in this position of like inner turmoil. So all those feelings of like being in a state of stress, anxiety, self-doubt, and how you can alternatively choose to go into this state of flow where you're embracing the present situation, really knowing yourself, and choosing to look at these challenges as like opportunities to find new enjoyment of life. And towards the end of this book, Mihaly is addressing a challenge to him that it's all well and good being in this like optimal experience of flow if you yourself are wealthy, healthy, and gorgeous. But what happens if you don't have those things? Like if you have a job that's just super boring, really dehumanizing, if you're like really struggling to make ends meet each month, like how is optimal experience anything more than just going to be like a sugar on top? And Mihaly was saying that actually it's how we embrace this adversity, which is how you come to be in this state of flow. And I like how he talks about if you're having a catastrophic experience, it gives you two choices. One is to basically have like a threat to self. So this is where you start putting up all those barriers around your like remaining goals. You're like, oh my God, I need to make sure that like no other cruel twist of fate is now going to come and jeopardize my dreams. Or you start to see it as a new challenge. It like makes a really clear goal for you of like, I've got to overcome the repercussions of this unexpected event. And it can really focus you onto maybe something that serves you more or just presents a new experience for you in life. Often you talk about like coping strategies for stress. And these draw on things like your external resources. So a big one is always how you pull on your social support network. But there's also things like your psychological resources. So these are like your personality traits that are particularly helpful, your intelligence, and then also what you can call your coping strategies. And I noticed when Kinga was talking that she was saying how she draws on her characteristic of being like a fighter. So that would be very much what Mihaly's talking about as like a personality trait here. And that she has a strategy of feeling the fear and seeing, oh, how can I use this to really like launch me into something new, to really like make her goals even more crazy was I think what she was saying. And I'd be really interested to know if you're going through anything at the minute or have been, like what have you noticed in terms of like your resources that you've been using, any particular personality traits, any support networks, and what has been your coping strategy? Because I think like any skill, you can build it with like intentional effort. So Mihaly actually has what he calls transformational coping skills, and he has 3 steps that he thinks you can go through to get through to this. So the first one is all about this unsubconscious self-awareness. So I think in other words, you can call it humility. And it's this recognition that your goals may have to be second to this wider entity that's happening. And even that in order to succeed, you may have to play by a different set of rules than what you would prefer. And then the second step he talks about is focusing your attention on the world, but to stay in touch with what is really happening in that moment. And that's where you can start to see like new possibilities emerge for yourself. And then the third step that he talks about is all about discovering new solutions. So perhaps similar to the second step, it's all about learning to like stay focused on the whole world situation for you. So that includes yourself, but also everything that's happening. And through that, sort of the ways that he goes about that, you can then learn maybe there are some alternative goals for me to go for here, and therefore some other solutions for me. And he gives some examples for like in the workplace, he had like a CEO is going to elect like a new promotion. You really want it, but there's another guy that wants to go for it. And maybe the CEO and that guy really get on. So you can either be like, right, I'm going to hustle and persuade the CEO to pick me, Or you can think, maybe I'm going to refocus my energy on a different career, some family time, building my skills in this other side hustle. I'm going to go into another department in the company and go up that ladder. So like neither of those options are like wrong. It's just about what will give you that enjoyable challenge in life. And if you'd find it helpful, let me know, and I can make a tool to help you do that in practice as well. And I'll be diving into Mihaly's book, coming video, all about some reading reflections, because there's been loads of bits from this book that I've been enjoying. And I've been going about my life and seeing like connections all the time. But for now, that's it, and chat to you later.